The vow of poverty is a generous renunciation and detachment from the heavy burden of temporal things. It is an alleviation of the spirit. It is a relief afforded to human infirmity, the liberty of a noble heart to strive after eternal and spiritual blessings. It is a satiety and abundance in which the thirst after earthly treasures is allayed, and a sovereignty and ownership in which a most noble enjoyment of all riches is established. All this, my daughter, and many other blessings are contained in voluntary poverty, and all this the sons of the world are ignorant and deprived of, precisely because they are lovers of earthly riches and enemies of this holy and opulent poverty. They do not consider, although they feel and suffer, the heavy weight of riches, which pins them to the earth and drives them into its very bowels to seek gold and silver in great anxiety, sleeplessness, labors, and sweat, as if they were not men, but wild beasts that know not what they are suffering and doing. And if they are thus weighed down before acquiring riches, how much more when they have come into their possession? Let the countless hosts that have fallen into hell with their burden proclaim it. Let their incalculable anxieties of preserving their riches, and much more, let the intolerable laws which riches and those that possess them have foisted upon the world, testify what is required to retain them. If, on the other hand, possessions throttle the spirit and tyrannically oppress it in its weakness, if they suppress the soul's most noble privilege of following eternal goods in God Himself, it is certain, on the other hand, that voluntary poverty restores to man the nobility of his condition, and, liberating him from the vile servitude, and reinstating him his noble freedom and mastery of all things. The soul is never more a mistress than when she despises them, and only then has she the more firm possession and makes the more excellent use of riches, when she gives them away or leaves them of her own free will. Only then her appetite for them is best satiated, when she does not care to possess them. Then, above all, is the heart set free and made capable of the treasures of the divinity, for which it is furnished by the Creator with almost infinite capacity. My daughter, I wish thee to study diligently this divine philosophy and science, which the world forgets, and not only the world, but also many religious souls who have promised it to God. Great is the divine wrath on account of this fault, and suddenly will the infringers of this vow receive heavy and unexpected punishment. By setting aside their voluntary poverty, they have alienated from themselves the Spirit of Christ, my most holy Son, and all that we have come to teach men in abnegation and poverty. Although they do not now feel it, because the judge delays, and they enjoy the abundance which they desire, yet, in the judgment, they will find themselves overwhelmed and dismayed by the rigor of their punishment, greater than they ever expected, considered, or imagined in their forgetfulness of divine justice. The temporal goods are created by the Most High for the sole purpose of sustaining life. Having attained this end, the need of them ceases, and as this need is limited, soon and easily satisfied, there is no reason that the care for the immortal soul should be only fitful and temporary, while the hunger after riches should be so perpetual and unintermitting as it has come to be among men. It is the height of perverseness for man to mix up the end and the means in an affair so important and urgent that he devote all his time, all his care, all the exertion of his powers, and all the alertness of his mind to the life of his body, of which he knows not the duration nor the end, and that on the other hand, in many years of his existence, he spare for his poor soul only 1 hour, and that very often the last and the worst one of his whole life.